Welcome back to Sports Edition. George Blaze here, talking soccer and one of the most hotly contested, anticipated matchups between Kelly and Lane Tech for the city championship. Lane Tech came out on top. We're going to talk all about that today. Joining me, Coach Andrew Ricks. Coach, 2 years, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. You guys got it done this year. What was the key to the win?
Actually, I forgot to tell you, it's actually been 3 years.
3 years?
So this is our 4th year in the final. And we lost the previous 3. So winning is nice, obviously. It's a lot more fun than losing.
I mean, of course, the anticipation that these are 2 teams that were so matched up. And one of the keys that you stress to your players and everybody is that, we have to make every possession count. And we can't be lazy with our possession. We have to make everything, we have to be moving forward. And that's kind of the philosophy you went in with all season.
It is. You have to play defense as well. And our defense, you meet some of our defenders coming up soon. You have to play offense and defense to win the game. But the credit goes to the players. They wanted it, and they played great. They really did. And all credit to Kelly High School. It was a great match, and Kelly deserves a lot of credit as well for getting there. And they're there every other year as well. So.
I like that. I like the camaraderie there in terms of the team because, the coaches at Kelly have so much great things to say about you guys as well. The better team won. It seems to be everyone's opinion. Like, it was a great match. You couldn't have called it the better team won. That's the way it goes.
I think so. I think it was a fair result. I do. We actually had a few more chances that were pretty clear cut that maybe Owen will talk about or whoever. But it was very even, and it always going to be a tough match. And actually, the past 4 city finals, and I can speak for that because I was there, have been 1 goal difference. It's been 1 goal that's decided each. You kind of knew going in that this is going to be that kind of game as well, where it's going to come down to it. Well, let's bring in Owen. Owen, you had the game-winning goal in the city championship.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the season leading up to the championship. Tough season all around. How did you feel about the season?
Well, I thought overall we played really well and pretty much won most of our games. But I personally didn't get that many goals until we started getting into the playoffs and towards the end of the season. So I felt really good about my season towards the end.
And did you kind of have to ramp up your philosophy to how to approach the game as the teams got tougher, as the season came closer?
Well, yeah. I always watched this motivational speech by Ray Lewis. I think it's to the Stanford basketball team right before they won. And he says, you got to go out there and you got to show them that you're a different creature than you were 5 minutes ago. And so all throughout the games, I would tell myself that and try and come out the next half or the next play and play better.
And what about this idea of making every possession count and to not losing ground when you guys have possession of the ball? You have that constantly going in your mind?
Yeah, definitely. You always got to get the ball back when you lose it personally and just as a team. And if you can't personally get the ball back, then make sure to keep your form so that you don't make another mistake later.
Was there something about the makeup of your team this year in terms of the guys you had playing that made a big difference this season as opposed to previous seasons?
Yes, I think we were well balanced. I think we had good depth, and the players worked hard. They bought into practice, And so practice, we were improving in practice, which isn't always the case. But those moments, that city final taught me a lot about our players too. I was like, this was another level. It was, and when you work so hard for something and you achieve it, it's a great feeling. And to see, that's why you coach. When you see the players reach that level, and you're like, wow, I didn't know this guy would work that hard and give it all and lay on the line. It's a beautiful thing to see. And that's what I asked him is, guys, let's not leave here with any regrets.
Right.
Win or lose, and that's sometimes soccer can be a very cool sport. It's not very high scoring, generally. And so I just said, leave it on the line, guys. Everything you got, leave it out there so you don't walk away.
And it's always good to either whether you win or lose that it's because of a great play by the other team or a great play by your team as opposed to a mistake. I hate watching soccer games where it's an error cost this entire season. That kind of thing you don't like to see.
Yeah. And I think that the Kelly coaches, I think everyone watching the game would say that wasn't the case. That Owen scored the game-winning goal, and I think that people would say that was a fantastic display of individual skill and desire, and it was a really great goal. And he
it didn't hurt that you had some really crucial shutouts during the season from your goaltending as well.
Absolutely, and the saying of offense wins games, defense wins championships. That's something I knew we would score. I really felt we would score, but can we keep Kelly out of the goal? And we did, and it was a team effort for sure. And like I said, we'll talk to those defenders that deserve some credit.
Well, fantastic, Coach. Fantastic job, Owen. We're going to meet a couple more of your players in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Lane Tech Soccer in just a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Edition. Talking soccer, Lane Tech is here, the city champions. Joining me now, Alvaro Soto and Brian Gramajo. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show. And of course, your coach said, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. Defensively, what was the key to your game against Kelly? What did you have to make sure you got done?
Well, first of all, we had to shut down all their key players and make sure that none of them would get like a second to think about what they're going to do. Basically, be one step ahead and block their every move.
Is that pretty much, as soon as they get possession of the ball, breaking up whatever plan or whatever strategy they have coming down the field?
Yeah, and we just mark up everyone, especially the midfield. When we are obviously outnumbered, we can't do everything,
Right.
But we just keep our composure mostly and hope for the best.
Brian, did you have any scary moments during the game that you thought, oh boy, I let one get by me there?
There's always that one moment during the game. You just gotta learn from it and just stay a bit closer to that player if he is one of their key players. You gotta make sure once he gets the ball, he knows you're right behind him. He knows to get that ball away because you're not gonna let him do anything.
Now, did Kelly have a lot of shots on goal in this championship game?
A lot of shots.
Right.
Yeah, they had a few, and there was some that are like off, so we didn't have that much to worry about in terms of like shots.
Would you say that Kelly was the toughest game of the season, or?
I say almost all the games are pretty tough, especially going towards the playoffs. But Kelly, they were a good team and they did give us a good fight.
And of course, as Coach said, year after year, you guys are going to the championship game and just not getting it. It's got to be sweet finally, winning and being like, okay, now everyone's looking at us.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah? And tell me about the feeling of winning the city championship.
It's incredible. It's like once you're there and you win it, it's so much relief and joy and happiness.
Let's talk about your goalkeeper, Rudy Rojas. Of course, was a key to having some saves in that game against Kelly that really made it happen. Tell me a little bit about Rudy, since we weren't able to have him on the program today.
Rudy's he's one in a million, I guess.
Yeah.
He's an amazing goalkeeper and an amazing person. He gives these speeches before games, especially with the defense, because we have to have that special bond, I would say, with the goalkeeper, and he just picks everyone up and pulls us through.
And that's one thing a lot of people who might not be familiar with playing soccer, the goalkeeper has a unique perspective where they could see everything that's going on. Some things you may not even see coming down the field. And that communication with what's going on with the goalkeeper is as important as anything else.
That communication is key almost to the whole defense. If he sees somebody open, he's got to let one of us know so we can get on it. If he's not talking to us, we don't know what's going on behind us, and it could be really hard for us.
And the worst thing, in my experience in school playing soccer was, man, if you screen that goalie, the goalie is he's gonna have a big issue with you. You got to kind of watch your positioning as well.
We do. Usually, you would just be like, move out of the way, or like a quick like name calling, oh bro, Brian, and then we just turn around and be like, oh,
It's like,
get out of the way.
Right, exactly. And now moving on, in looking at, are you both seniors, juniors? What year are you?
Seniors.
You're both seniors, so this is your last year. You finally got a championship. Plan on playing soccer, moving on into college or in the future?
Yeah, I hope. It's one of my goals to be like playing in college, so I have that going for me.
What about you, Brian?
I would love to be playing college soccer.
Well, Brian, one of the things your coach said to me coming in is, you have great hair, man. You have great hair, Brian.
Thank you.
It's outrageous. Our director even said, get a close-up of Brian's hair, please. This is championship hair. We're not talking about second place. There is no second place. Guys, congratulations to you both. Thank you so much for coming on the program, and good luck to you and everything you're doing in the future.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, only one thing remaining. What are you talking about? Stay tuned.